My name is Christian Pedivan. My dad and I both have Leaf-Romani syndrome. It's also referred to as the ticking time bomb disorder. It's a rare inherited genetic mutation that makes us more prone to cancer. I have an 80 to 90% chance of getting cancer. When we discovered my father had prostate cancer 3 years ago, we thought we had caught it earlier, but it had already spread to his lymph nodes. Since then, he has had 2 surgeries, 1 clinical trial, immunotherapy, hormone therapy, and today still fights to stay healthy. We wanted to make this Father's Day special, so we rewrote the words to 7 years, and we had my sister sing them with a band we had planted in downtown Baton Rouge. We had friends and family surprise my father midway through the song. Please watch and share this special Father's Day with us.
Alright, I have officially blown out my voice. So I need someone to sing this. Can I announce my special guest? Alright, Kate. Kate Pedivan, would you like to come up here and sing this song with me? Alright, this one's on Kate. She's going to sing for me.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me that I can be anything that I wanna be. Once I was 7 years old. In such a crazy world, and you just have to figure, with life come challenges, but I won't let them make me bitter. My daddy teaches me to never be a quitter. Love yourself, be proud of the person in the mirror. Now that I'm 11 years old, my daddy tells me I'll always be in your heart, don't ever feel lonely. Now that I'm 11 years old.
What you just watched was a rewrite version of 7 Years, the 2016 world hit to Danish band Lukas Graham. It was written and performed by then 11-year-old Kate Pedivan. She published it on YouTube June 2016, when 7 Years had been on the charts for a year since the Danish release in June 2015. The video with Kate Pedivan's version has long time past 15 million views. In comparison, the most viewed Danish music video from 2016, Nede Midte, has been viewed 13.5 million times. Kate Pedivan's song to her sick father is a wonderful example of how mainstream hits are used in many other ways than just being played. People do things with music. They rewrite it, remix it, recontextualize it, rearrange it, copy it, try to steal it, cover it, dance to it, mug it, and a lot of other things that I sum up in the term musical versioning practices. What makes mainstream music special is the fact that it is, by definition, music everybody knows. In the call for this conference on mainstream music, the main question was as follows. How is popular music listened to and made sense of in the beginning of the new decade, and what role do the sounds and their particularities play? In this paper, I will try to answer the question by presenting a case study that I have been working on for the last year. My primary point is that the present mediascape, compared to earlier mediascapes, is defined by streaming, almost indefinite access, and not least an unprecedented number of versions accessible to anyone, anywhere. Using the song 7 Years by Danish band Lukas Graham as my case, I will show the variety of versioning practices on YouTube, demonstrate how these different practices contribute to the spreading of the songs and play an important role in the musical mainstream today, how they reflect what music matters to people and how they use and relate to it, and though in many cases new, in many ways these practices mirror how music used and related to music in earlier mediascapes. My main perspective is historical. My doctoral dissertation from 2008 was on versional practices within popular music from 1945 to 2007. And I have quite a deep knowledge on the shifting mediascapes, how technology has affected the musical world, and not least relevant in this case, how music has been produced, distributed, used and understood in the 20th century. Therefore, I claim to have a bit of knowledge about what is new, what is old and what is borrowed. What Kate Pedovan did was not new, but the fact that I have access to it is. As my main points regard the amount of different musical practices, I have decided that this will primarily be a play it, don't tell it presentation. Meaning, instead of reading pages and showing sheets with categories and numbers, I have made 2 videos demonstrating 2 sides of the 7 years story. The first is a chronological mix of versions of the song by the Lukas Graham band themselves. Let's go back to the beginning, lean back and enjoy.
We're going to sing a totally new song for you guys called 7 Years Old. We haven't even recorded this yet. Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger, pushing each other to the limits. We were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. I always had that dream like my daddy before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about this glory just always seemed to bore me, cause only those I really love will never really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once I was 20 years old. I only see my goals, I don't believe in failure, cause I know the smallest voices, they can make it major. I got my boys with me, at least those in favor. And if we don't meet before I leave, I hope I'll see you later. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told, writing about everything I saw before me. Once I was 20 years old. Soon we'll be 30 years old. Our songs have been sold. We've traveled around the world and we're still roaming. Soon we'll be 30 years old. I'm still learning about life. My woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I can tell them stories. Most of my boys are with me, some are still out seeking glory, and some I had to leave behind. My brother, I'm still savvy. Soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61. Remember life and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I rode a leather once. I hope my children come and visit once or twice a month. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can hold me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Come on, fellas, wreck it. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can hold me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Always gonna love you. 7 years old. Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. Once I was 7 years old.
The purpose of making this little film was showing the variety of perspectives, even when just dealing with the original version, that of Lukas Graham themselves. Firstly, the fact that the song was publicly accessible on YouTube for more than 2 years prior to its release still puzzles my old brain. Lukas Graham not only accepted it, they also shared some of the smartphone recordings from their fans on social media. Secondly, watching these different videos, the perspectives change all the time. The fact that we have 3 different recordings of the very first performance of the song made by 3 different individuals is absolutely amazing. Uploading a concert video is not only about sharing something with the world, it's also about claiming and status. Thirdly, the videos demonstrate how making it big in 2015-16 indeed still involved traditional broadcast media and gatekeepers. Moving away from the performances and versions controlled by Lukas Graham themselves to all the other versions found on YouTube, it quickly gets exhausting. Let's go.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger, pushing each other to the limits, we were learning quicker.
By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure.
Once I
have no
was
idea how to
11 years old,
Figured I'd wait.
Daddy told me, go
Right partner.
get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. I always had that dream like my daddy before me, so I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory just always seemed to bore me, cause only those I really love will ever really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once I was 20 years old.
Only see my goals, I don't believe in failure, cause I know the smallest voices, they can make it major.
I got my girls with me, at least those in favor. And if we don't meet before I leave, I hope I'll see you later. Once I was 20 years old, so we got told I was fine for everything, so before
remember, it's never too late to love, to reach or care for each other.
Mes amis me soutiennent, du moins ceux qui le veulent, et j'espère les revoir avant de partir.
Non chiedo scusa, presto avrò 60 anni. Mio padre a 61 se ne andò dicendo che la vita è magica. Con una lettera gli ho dato la felicità. Spero i miei figli mi verranno a fare visita.
Soon they'll be stealing our gold with their undead hearts so cold, and we don't have a lot of weapons for an army. Karaoke never gets old. If you know a Filipino, then he sings karaoke.
We're 16 years old. I think the world is old. What good has blood to children who can't.
Once I was 7 years old, Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me to go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old.
Oh, bringing it back full circle.
Maybe that's why he thinks that when he's 60, the warmth comes from being around people.
This seems a little bit more important now that you see him at 60 years old.
Sometimes I can't remember what I did last Monday, but I can remember a lot of things that I did when I was 7 years old.
This was just a tiny sample of the multitude of versions and practices related to 7 years. Many of them had millions of views, and added together, the view numbers of all versions existing are astronomical. As you can imagine, this was a kill your darlings from hell exercise, and I, for instance, almost cried when I realized that I forgot the hip-hop versions, or all the playing tutorials, or the mashups, or the Islamic version. That one really hurt. As I wrote in the beginning of the video, the total amount of 7 years related videos on YouTube is unknown, but it is mind-blowingly high. Even now, 6 years after the official Danish release, 20 videos are uploaded daily. Many are identical to other videos on the service, simply ripped and re-uploaded in the quest for a hit themselves. But every day new versions pop up. It's people in all ages from all over the world that relate to 7 years in one way or another. That leads back to the start of this presentation. As the gentleman at the end of the video refers to, he also was 7 years old once. Everybody was. And everybody in most of the world who was alive and just a bit conscious in 2016 knows 7 years, whether they like it or not. They will also all grow old and die. Some are even already dead or dying. And even though many probably consider 7 years a terribly sentimental 2015 version of Seasons in the Sun, that song will forever be a part of the public memory. It will live on in many different shapes, both on public platforms like YouTube and Spotify and whatever the future brings, and in private settings for few ears only, like it has always been. What makes my 7 years case special is that it is a perfect timestamp for our present mediascape. Sometimes in the future, when YouTube is gone, only the original and a few prominent versions will probably remain. And that's the case with all the music we take for granted right now. Because of my project, this 7 years case will probably be the best documentation of all this. I'm a research librarian at a national library, and I have therefore saved it all into our web archive. I think you should all consider doing the same if you find something interesting. By the way, Kate Pettivan's father is alive and doing fine.
Once I was 7 years old.